this is the best possible start for tanks. You're going to get to level 8 and have 690 attack power weapons, which are technically the best in slot pre-level 10 weapons you can get. There are some rare drops you can get that are better, but they're so rare you're never going to see them anyway. And especially not if you're a solo. And this guide is for solo players. You're going to become overpowered easily to grind and do level 10 quests as easy and effortlessly as possible without anything based around luck. All completely solo, all with no guild and no friends and no grouping with randoms. Let's get into it. The very first thing that you want to do when you do roll your tank archetype, you need the starting region to be the Divine Gateway of the Dunzenkel. Alright, this guide is based for this starting zone, not the Gateway of Ayla. So that starts you at the very northern part of the map. Most players are going to play on the southern end, and while there are more quests, there's more congestion. It's not as streamlined. It's not as easy or fast or efficient or close together. So in order to speedrun your levels 1 through 10 and make it as easy and fast as possible, you're going to go to Dunzenkel. As soon as you spawn in, you're going to look to your right. There is a big pillar here. You're going to run to that pillar, and there are some barrels next to that pillar. This one has a rusty maul, but next to it is the rusty greatsword. Now, you may be thinking, but Swole Benji, I chose tank. Don't I need a shield? No, you do not need a shield right now. You only need a shield when you're actually tanking a dungeon or in a group setting, and shields are not leveled up, and it's going to massively slow down your clear time and your grinding ability if you're using sword and board. You will be able to level up the one-handed sword so much faster later once you're post level 10, but for now, you want to kill things as fast as possible. So you're going to equip the rusty greatsword, and then you can just toss your longsword and your shield. You won't need them. As a tank, you start with a longbow, which is what we're going to be using for the entire video. Next up, when you are facing south, you have two quest givers in front of you. You have a Gatewatcher Stonebeard and Nahotu. You're going to go to the left to Stonebeard, talk to this person, and click Might and Industry. This will set you on the Hammer's Rest Path, or Hammer Rest Path. There we go. Which will have you curve over here to the left side to start your quest chain. If you choose the other path, you go down that route, and it puts you in a dumpy lakeside river village, and it's not very efficient. The area we're going is way more efficient and way faster to level up and way easier to level up, so you absolutely want to take this path instead. Now, you have a quest to kill 5 Claiborne enemies, and you're going to be doing some Destiny Novice combat quests while you do that. I'm going to hide the text for just a sec, push the L button on your keyboard, and you can open up your Destiny's quests. You have First Steps and Novice Combat. You're going to be doing the following to unlock the Novice Combat Destiny rewards. You're going to attack 10 times with melee, 10 times with range, sprint once, so I will demonstrate the sprint one now. You see this little star here that says sprint to go fast. Reward is 48 XP. So I'm going to just tap sprint. There we go. Destiny objective completed. Now when I push L, you'll see there's the star lit up here. I can click this and click claim reward. That's going to give me some XP. Now as I progress, I will unlock these chests, which will give me better loot. The first one being a much better greatsword, which we get by the time we turn in our second quest, which is dramatically going to increase our power moving forward. Alright, so that list again. We're going to dodge 3 times in combat, press block 3 times in combat, and that's pretty much it, while you're also doing the quests. So I'm going to walk up to the Claiborne, I'm going to just auto-attack it, I'm not going to use any spells or abilities. I'm going to tap my block button 3 times. You don't have to actually block attacks, just push the button. Then I'm going to dodge, and I don't have any stamina. I'm going to dodge again, and then I just need to do one more dodge, which takes stamina. My stamina is not at 50. And you're a tank. You can tank all of these hits. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it, all right? There we go. And then, well, I was out of combat for that dodge. I don't know if that counted. Let's see if it did. Yeah, it did count. Okay, and then we got guard during combat. That's done. So I need to do the ranged attack one now. There we go. We're level 2. We killed one mob. We're level 2. We're going to just attack with ranged until this completes. There we go. By the way, as you kill Claiborne, the first few ones you kill almost always are programmed to drop red clay chunks. These things aren't really worth much. Go ahead and just right-click and eat one when you're out of combat. And then that counts as eating a ration, which is not part of your novice combat, but it's part of your first steps right down here. Eat rations to rest and heal. Don't worry, these things are super cheap. You're not really wasting them anyway. And then let's go ahead and finish up our ranged attack destiny here. And there we go. So that's done. So now I can just push my abilities and kill this super duper quick. And swap to my melee and kill 2 more. Now, with the greatsword, with your auto attacks, you do a cleaving frontal attack. And as a tank, you have this grid ability. It just increases your defense. You kind of always want to have this up and running. And then your vengeance ability is your first spell attack or combat ability. You just mash it whenever it's off cooldown, and you'll deal tons of damage. There we go. So now we have killed the 5 Claiborne. We're going to go ahead and follow the very narrow path to the next quest giver, and I will skip ahead to that. By the way, I have a very similar guide for rogues. This guy is a rogue, and he is definitely following my guide because you can see he's got a great sword, so he knows what he's doing. If you see any rogues or tanks in this starter zone with great swords, you know that they've watched my video. Anyway, by turning in the quest to this quest giver, we get an amulet, so we're going to equip that immediately. This gives us crit chance and evasion, but also it completes the destiny that we need on novice combat. And we're going to claim that reward for 48 XP. There we go. But now we can claim 2 chest rewards. We have an adventurer's health kit. This just gives you healing salves, rations, scrolls of constitution. You can pick, I would pick healing salve or the scroll. You don't really need rations. The healing salves are worth more, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick that, drag it onto my hotbar if I ever want to use. This is a healing potion. That's all it is. You can use it in combat. Now, we have the lost weapon chest. And what that's going to do is let us pick this greatsword for 152 physical power, which we are going to choose. And that increased from 113. Here's the difference. We got more strength, more attack speed, and accuracy, or physical crit power, my bad. So all in all, it's just a better weapon. And yeah, onwards to the next quest. We're going to run down here and then talk to this NPC. And I'll skip to that. All right, I have reached the NPC. We're going to talk to them. And there we go, take the next follow-up quest. This also gave us a mount. So if I open my inventory, I'm going to drag my mount onto my hotbar. Let me just give you a quick rundown of mount basics. Push your mount ability to summon it. Push G by default to mount it. And then you have a dash ability here. And there's 2 ways to dismount. You can jump off your mount, and your mount stays within the game world, which means it can be attacked by monsters, enemies, and players if you're PvPing. But you can also use your mount ability to jump off of it and unsummon it so that it runs into the ether and disappears. Which means if you need your mount again, you just resummon it. So, unlike in other games where you kind of hug your mount and do gathering and stuff, you generally want to, you don't want your mount to be in the world because it can aggro nearby enemies. Because it's an extension of you. It will aggro enemies. It'll sit there and do nothing. They don't fight. Maybe there's other mounts in the game that fight. I don't know yet. But your starter mount definitely cannot. It's not a combat pet. You can use it as a meat shield if you want, but I don't recommend it because if your mount dies, it takes 10 whole minutes for your mount to come back to life. Another thing too with the mounts is if you were to jump from a high place, you take fall damage. If you were to jump from a very high place, you would take fatal fall damage. But if you jump with your mount and land, the mount will die from the fall damage and you will be unscathed. So you can sacrifice your mount as a shortcut. It'll come back in 10 minutes, and when you have multiple mounts, you can just summon a different mount to take its spot. But anyway, I talked to the NPC here. I'm going to now bind to this little orb thing. This is a respawn point, and you just walk up to it and push F, and then attune, and that completes the quest. Then we run back over here, doing some dodge rolls to be a bit quicker. Mounts faster, but whatever. And then we get the next part of the quest to continue. Hold on, I'm pushing buttons. To continue down this way, and we need to kill some stone woke automata. All right, they're woke. They have to die. That's how it works. Okay. But anyway, we're just gonna mash through it real quick because we deal a lot of damage as a tank. And oh yeah, the guard killed that, but we did at least half of its HP, so we still got the tag for that. And by the way, as you do these quests, you're going to be getting these chests. And what you want to pick as a tank is the plate heavy armor. All physical defense. So make sure that you're choosing that. Not the medium armor, not the light armor. Always go heavy armor. Whatever it gives you the most defense possible. When you stack 5 pieces, you will get the heavy bonus, giving you 10% physical damage reduction. And as a tank, early on, we will be grinding physical-based mobs, not magical-based ones. So it makes more sense for us to get that armor instead. On your way to the next NPC, you'll see this guy that says, I can't reach. Go ahead and talk to him. Get his quest. Go up to this, whatever this thing is, and then push F to clean it. There we go. Sometimes this bugs out and just instantly completes, but it looks like I actually have to do the cleaning. I don't know why. I guess it didn't bug out for me this time. But once it's done, you get some bonus XP. You can complete it at the guy. Don't forget to turn it in. I see so many people on streams that just, they clean it and then they run along and they don't turn in the quest. So make sure you turn that quest in. But I want to talk about the next quest little area here because it's a little bit sensitive. There is a current grief, and I did confirm this earlier with a player, and it looks like there might be someone here actually waiting to grief it, because he's level 6, and he shouldn't be here. He says, okay, I'm gonna see what he wants real quick. Alright, so yeah, this guy just had a chat with me about other games that I play. He said he's been watching for a while. He wants me to make a mage guide, because he's a mage. So yeah, witnessed, and you're in the video. Congrats, legend. So, this quest we're about to get from Ash, alright, has us do a crate transport, which this West Wolf guy might grief us. He might be here to grief. So as soon as I pick up a crate, this is considered a like a crate transport. This removes your safety from PvP, and there are no guards nearby in this little starter zone. So as soon as I pick this up, Mr. West Wolf here could technically flag up and kill me if he wants, and take some of my precious glint, right? But one thing when walking with these crates, you can do a little combat roll, and that'll speed things up. If you get on your mount, you still are very slow, unless your mount is considered a beast of burden, which our mount is not. Our mount is a riding mount, and yes, I fat finger menu sometimes, but this is a riding mount. It will not help you carry crates. But as soon as we turn in this crate, we will be safe once again from PvP, so we can't be griefed. So if you see some high levels lurking around, just be aware they might try to kill you, and yeah, that's just how it is. Alright, so there we go. We're going to get the follow-up as well. Okay, we already got it. And we got some more chests. Again, you want to pick the one that has heavy armor. You see right here it says heavy armor. Make sure you're picking that one. It'll be all physical defense. There we go. And then we have breastplate. And don't worry, we're going to get armor upgrades as we play. You know, this is just starting a quest stuff. But now we need to kill Claiborne Guardians, alright? And so at this point, we're now going to actually start and put some talent points into things. We are now level 3, by the way. So let me tell you what to put in. Alright, so for levels 2 and 3, you're going to go with Desolate, and you're going to go with the one that hits all surrounding enemies for 150% physical damage. So let me undo these and show you how it's going to go. You're going to click this bottom right square, and you're going to pick the top one here that says strike your target and surrounding enemies for 150% damage. Go and confirm that. And then up here in the top left box, you're going to click that and click Tremoring Bellow to apply snare to enemies in front of you and deal 150% physical damage with a stomp attack. So these are 2 AoE damaging attacks. And at level 4, we really awaken this because we can pick this modifier, which gives you 100% crit hit chance against snared enemies. So the combo is as follows. You're going to run up to these Claiborne Guardians and attack them to get aggro. You can also shoot them with a bow, doesn't really matter. I kind of whiffed that one, but here we go. I'll do this on 3 enemies. There we go. Make sure that they are all in front of you in a cone. Push your Tremoring Bellows, and then push your Desolate. And look at the damage that we're dealing. And yeah, we're taking some hits, so we're going to push 2 here to get our grit up, and then we're going to mash 1 for Vengeance to take out whatever's in front of us. And then you're just going to hit your abilities as soon as they come off cooldown. So there we go. There's Tremoring Bellows. You've got another Desolate coming up. We have 7 seconds on grit. We'll recast that. And then we will mash our Vengeance to take out the next guy. And you just rinse and repeat this. Just cast your abilities when they're off cooldown. There's really nothing to it. Yeah, it's really that simple. And when we hit level 4, this goes really, really fast. Now, besides skills, you also have weapon abilities. So you're going to click weapon, click Lost Great Sword, and you're going to do the one for bleed. We want to bleed our enemies. And then for your longbow, you're just going to go with wound, though the longbow doesn't matter. We just use it for pulls and as a stat stick. For stamina, you obviously as a tank would go down the shielding block path. Right now, it does not matter, and you could respec for free, so I just go down the sprint path. These choices are very minute early on. They're more important later, but not right now, and you could always change them at any time. Also, don't forget to open your destinies on first steps, killing or doing 5 quests, and summoning them out and give you some XP rewards and some glint there. So just make sure you're claiming your rewards. Now, at this time, what I recommend you do is go into this room. In the middle are laborers. These things are way easier to kill. The guardians are a lot harder to kill, and sometimes they're level 4, so they're a bit beefy. I recommend that you grind the middle laborers here, you know, as much as you can, as you feel like pulling. You are a tank, so don't be afraid of them. They deal very little damage. Just pop your defensive cooldown, and yeah, they will knock you down initially, but that's just how it is. Ooh, let's get a 4th one here. There we go. Alright, so we got all 4 of them, and we're going to make sure that they're in front of us, and we're just going to hit our abilities, and you'll see that their HP bars just start melting like crazy. Again, and our HP goes down a little bit too, that's fine, but, you know, we're killing 4 at a time here very, very quickly. You're going to level up to 4 very fast doing this, alright? So let's hit Q, and again, they're all dead before I even get a second rotation. And make sure that you're looting them as well. Now, whenever you get another weapon level up, which we just did, you're going to go into this top right section that says Deadly Finisher, trigger chance increased by 10%, and you're going to do that for both of your weapons, alright? And now, what I recommend that you do after you do a big pull is, see how my HP is not full? I'm over 50%, right? But I'm not full HP. So what you want to do is outside of combat, which I accidentally aggroed, I stood on a mob respawn. There we go. Is what you want to do is kind of go off to the side where there are no enemies that spawn, and just use your sit button, because when you sit down, you're going to regenerate a flat amount of HP and mana. You can also start eating some of those rations you got. I didn't really loot that many though. And yeah, there will be people here that are doing AoE attacks. This is a level 6 mage, and he's having a bit of a struggle. Now, when we hit level 4, we're going to be able to do exactly what he's doing just as efficiently, and you'll see. Just keep grinding until you're level 4. And as you do this, you're going to complete more destinies for kill 10 enemies and loot 5 items, and these will just help you level up to 4 a little bit faster if you claim them now. You also get another Adventurer's Health Kit, and again, I'm just going to grab the Healing Salve, but you can grab whatever you feel like. And as your weapons continue to level, you will continue on this upper right path, picking Deadly Finisher Chance 2, and then eventually Chance 3 whenever you get that level up. And you can see I'm already almost level 4. Now, as you grind these mobs, they do have item drops, which can be pretty good. Also, if no player loots their item drops, you can take their loot after a certain amount of time. So if someone is AoEing like this, and you'll see, this is a level 6 mage, and he's taking a lot of damage. He's having a run now. But now that we've hit level 4, we can outfarm that mage. Let me go ahead and put this on. This is a lucky drop. It's actually... Here's the thing. We already have bracers with 37 physical defense. However, the bracers that we can find from these mobs, they have an extra set bonus called Fortitude. And you'll see here that Fortitude gives us 15% increased Constitution and Mentality. So it is the better item, despite having our regular one having Dexterity and Crit Chance. We don't need Crit Chance because we're about to have 100% chance to crit. Also, you may get some recipes, just sell them to other players or use them. It's whatever you want to do. But now that we are level 4, we are going to choose the ability here. Punish. So Pulverize and Desolate have 100% critical hit chance against snared or recently tripped enemies. And what do you know? Our Tremoring Bellow applies snared. So let me show you what that looks like on a Guardian. So we're going to attack the Guardian. We're going to snare him. And then this is 100% crit. Boom. You see that? How that number kind of flared out at the screen and popped up like it did? That means we deal more damage. That's what a crit is. And this makes AoE farming insanely easy. Also, now that we're level 4, we have a lot more stats. And these guys are an absolute cakewalk now. So what I want you to do is grind until you are level 4.5. And if you're having fun, grind to level 5. If you're still having fun, grind to level 6. However, it's not time efficient to grind beyond 4.5 because we're going to be going and getting another sword upgrade here pretty soon. And we need to get started with gathering so we can craft an even better sword and a better bow. And you may be thinking, but Swole Benji, why do I need a better bow? I'm just using this to pull mobs. In this game, both of your weapons count towards your stats. So if you have a very super powerful, strong physical damage bow, your sword swings will hit harder. And the bow we are going to craft is going to give you 25% bonus HP around level 7 to 8. It's a flat 250 HP, which is a lot of health early on. It's going to make things super easy. And trust me on this, you don't want to spend too much time here. You can come back later if you want, but essentially just grind to 4.5. by doing quests, that will push us to level 5. So I pulled 6 mobs. One pull of 6 mobs, I got 11% of a level. Just push yourself to 50%. This does not take a long time at all. If you think this takes a long time, MMORPGs really aren't for you, man. Now, a few tips for doing pulls, which you're going to have to get used to if you're not used to this kind of thing in MMORPGs. If you pull, like, say, 5 of these Guardians, and you kill them all successfully with half or 50% HP, this means that you might be able to pull 7 or 8 of them with 20 to 30% of your HP. And so what you want to do is find a sweet spot of exactly how many you can pull without dying. But also, let's say they get a bunch of lucky crits or something bad happens and you accidentally pull other mobs. You need to learn how to mount up, get on it, and then sprint away as fast as possible. Or try to jump up into a high place if they don't have ranged attacks to try to drop aggro. Or just keep running away from them on your mount. That way you don't die. Because if you die in Ashes of Creation, 2 things happen. 1, you lose 25% of your materials bag. And glint is your money right now. You will be selling this later for money. Other things that drop are going to be used for crafting. So you don't want to lose that. But also, another 25% of what isn't just evaporated from your inventory is dropped on the ground that other players can steal. Alright, so I'll tell you right now, this level 6 mage, if I die, he can run over, he can loot 25% of all of this after the 25% trash rate. And then he will be flagged for PvP for like 3 minutes. I won't be able to do anything because he's higher level than me. And he'll just get to keep that stuff all to himself. So you really don't want to die. But secondly, something also happens, and that's called experience debt. Now, at a low level, when you die, you go into an experience debt of like 1 or 2%, which is like 2 mobs. So it's not a big deal. But when you're a very high level character, you could lose hours of grinding when you die. And you don't want to do that. So just be careful and don't overextend. Don't bite off more than you can, chew. Now, one thing you also might not be used to with this combat system is your auto attack combo. So what happens is when you get into a rhythm when you're attacking a mob, it's for greatsword it's like slash, 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 slash. So what you want to do is you don't want to use your abilities until after that second quick slash. So it's like boop, boop. And then I would use my abilities. Because if you don't, it resets your combo. And that finisher, that little double slash at the end, is how you apply bleed to all the enemies that you're hitting. So again, this is how it would look like, okay? There's the 1, 2, so 1, 2, 1, 2, use my abilities, right? Just use all your damn abilities, put everything on cooldown, and then go back to auto-attacking. It's a little bit weird to get used to, but it's going to massively, massively increase your mob kill speed until you get more abilities where you can just nuke them all from 100 to 0 without ever auto-attacking, which will be an eventuality as a tank, by the way. But let's do a big pull here so you can kind of see it in action, so I can kind of show it to you a little bit better. So we hit grit, so we got defense for 20 seconds. Slash, slash. I'm waiting for the mobs to get clustered. And then slash, slash. Hit my abilities. Boom. There's the Q. There's the 4. Mash my 1. Mash my 2 again. And that mob's about to be dead. So now I'm just going to wait on cooldowns. And you'll see I'm a tank, so I'm taking all these hits. Not a big deal. I'm going to wait for my Desolate cooldown to be a little bit closer so I can cast it without the snare going away. Because they are only snared for like 2 or 3 seconds. It doesn't exactly say, but you can see the debuff up here whenever you actually end up doing it. Alright, there we go. So again, we're going to wait until about 1 second, so there we go. That way they're snared. That means we always get the crit. And that's how we just took them all out. Very, very simple, very clean, very easy. Once we exit combat, we're going to sit down and chill, get some HP back. And we're at 49.4%, so I need to do one more pull. You need to be over 50% because we're just going to beeline a bunch of quests, hit level 5, and when we hit level 5, we're going to be able to unlock adventuring, crafting, gathering, and processing destiny quests. And the way the game is currently set up, if you just beeline quests and did not grind, the game tells you to go gather, and you'll go gather, and then you'll hit level 5, and then you won't get credit for any of the stuff you gathered in these destinies. So what we're doing is just being more efficient and streamlined with our quests. Before proceeding to the next area, I highly recommend that you try to get full HP, because you might pull entire rooms of mobs, and I'll demonstrate that kind of sort of right now. So a lot of times these mobs in the upcoming rooms, like I aggroed that guy, I'm right in the middle, I aggroed 2 of them, and you have to wait on an elevator, alright? And yeah, these guys hurt, and these guys are very close together, so they're gonna definitely aggro. I recommend that you just line of sight them around a corner like this and just kill them, right? Because otherwise they're going to cause problems at the elevator. They could even bug out the elevator, and I did not push my defensive in time there. But yeah, we're just going to kill them real quick. And again, these, you know, killing this amount of mobs is something we can easily do, but it can be a problem. I know that there's an NPC that currently lets you teleport to the bottom of the elevator if it's bugged, but that might not always be there, so you got to be careful. But yeah, just go ahead and kill these dudes. Also, if you are low enough level, you can actually use the mount method to mass pull and aggro mobs without having to attack or shoot each individual one. But in the open world, you're not going to really find clusters of mobs like this in many spots early on. They're going to be pretty spread out, so it's more efficient just to stand in the middle and then shoot them all once. But now that we've cleared those damn mobs, we can go to the elevator. So the way the elevator works is, or how it's supposed to work, is there's an elevator that goes up and down, and when it comes to the bottom floor, the gate will open. If it does not work, just talk to this guy, which I'm going to do now, and click elevator isn't working, and then he teleports you to the next floor. To which we will now do the next quest, and the next quest is very simple. You just walk up to, you see these little red diamonds? You just walk up to any NPC, make sure you're standing completely still, and push F to apply healing salve. You just do that 3 times, and then you continue forward. No, this is not using up your healing potion. This is using up a quest item that's in your inventory called healing salve. So don't worry about it. It's again, it's not consuming your potions. So this hallway bugs out sometimes and won't let you summon a mount. I don't know why, but it'll be fixed one day. Now this elevator assistant will teleport you to the bottom floor or the top floor, wherever, whichever floor it is. But it will not teleport you in front of the gate. It teleports you behind the gate. So I do not recommend using that elevator assistant because it might glitch you out and then you'll fall and take fall damage or even potentially die. So this is Hammer Rest. We finally made it. This is the first Novice Town Quest Hub area. This is not a city. This game does not have cities like in World of Warcraft. If there are cities, they are player-made. And yes, this is a massive, massive map. This is a huge map. So here is our starting zone in the Snowy Mountains. The other starter zone is all the way down here in this little desolate castle-looking thing. And if you were to ride either or from here to the top or from the top to the bottom to these starter zones, which you could totally do and pick up a few starter quests, you can't stack starter quests like getting double mounts or anything. It is a 1 hour in real-time, real-life ride. 1 hour. There is no fast travel. There is no blimp or airship or tram or train. No flight paths, nothing. You got to ride there on foot. That is, unless you're playing on an established server. I'm playing on a fresh server. And all of the towns in the game are built by players. It's not like in Albion or World of Warcraft where there's just pre-built towns for you to frolic in. There are pre-built starter zones like Hammer Rest, and then pre-built little areas like Hammer Rest Trade Outpost. These are Tier 1 novice-only crafting stations. You cannot craft the really, really good high-level stuff, but you can craft and make things that are appropriate until level 10, in which case the only way to get gear is to become a citizen at a settlement and help build that up and use their crafting benches. So you can see someone has built a city here, and they've got some stuff going here. And again, these are all over the map. These are all player-made, and yeah. So that's how this works. But let's continue questing. We are going to talk to Commander Dunes Chasm. All right, and you can't talk to him on the mount, which is silly. You should be able to talk to him on the mount. Anyway, there we go. So what he just did now is he gave us some more chests. We're going to go ahead and claim those and equip them. So we're going to go with the heavy armor. There we go. And the heavy armor once again. This is going to increase our defense. So we also just hit level 5. That's why we're 50%. That way we hit level 5 right here. Now, before we do anything else, the game wants us to go to Provisioner Hammerstrong, which is north, which is just right up these stairs. But we're going to go south and, you know, up these stairs instead. And we're going to go towards this little brick icon. This is the masonry station. We don't want the masonry station. We want the storage clerk. Talk to the storage clerk. Click, I want to access my storage. Click materials. This is very important because look at your storage space. If you put stuff in here and you don't have room to take it out, you're stuck with that storage space. Instead, click this box and click general storage. And now look, you have way more storage. All right, so many people mess this up. I messed this up the first time. Now, what you want to do is put everything in here that is not your glint. So I'm going to put in this Crownbreaker emblem, and you can, I think it's, Well, I swear control click used to work, and now it's not. I don't know why. Very odd. Very unusual. Anyway, just click and drag it if it's not working. If shift click doesn't work, that's fine. Alright, now that this is in storage, you will never ever lose this. For the things we need to craft in the future, we're going to need 20 of these anvil's essences, and don't worry, we'll be able to farm them pretty quick. But we need to sell our glint for money. That's what we need to do, so we're going to open this up. Not in the storage, just in your inventory, and we're going to right-click all these and convert them. And converting them doesn't make them worth more or less, it just makes it quicker to sell. Alright, and then we'll convert that. And so we have 19 silver and 90 copper. Behind the storage clerk is a stoneworks vendor. Just open up the vendor here. And then you're going to right-click to sell, and you're just going to sell your glint. There we go. So right now we have 19 silver, 90 copper. Alright, now what we just did with the storage clerk and the vendor completed some more destiny quests. So we're going to open that up, and we're going to claim everything here. We've got more XP to claim. And more glint, by the way. Lots more glint. And we also have some more chests. We got a Wanderer's chest and a melee weapons chest. And then under Novice Combat, once we level up again, we'll get another skill. We can complete this one for another longbow. And all of these are now opened up. Adventuring, crafting, gathering, and processing, which we're going to do some of, but not all of. Alright? Now that we got 5 glint from the quest, make sure you also sell that. You don't want to die and lose any of this. Money is very important early on. Alright? But let's go to those chests. Alright, we have a Wanderer's chest. And again, we want the physical defense heavy armor. So there we go. This is 150 defense up from 50. That's 100 extra defense. That's a lot. And then we have the melee weapon chest. We're going to grab the great sword. 397 physical power. We are now up from 152. So we've more than doubled our physical damage. Alright, our physical damage is now double for our weapon slot. We still need to work on the bow and getting that power up as well, which we're going to do. There's no big rush. But also, now that you have all this extra gear that is kind of useless, there is a way to break down gear, but this is tier 1 trash gear. It's not worth breaking down, and it's also expensive to break down, so you would be losing money if you did it. You just want to sell your garbage gear, right? So I'm going to sell this for 48 copper, this for 24 copper, and if you got any item drops you're not using, go ahead and sell that. The recipes I would save to trade with players if you already know them, right? Now, everything that sells for 0 here, like this rusty greatsword, you can toss it. The adventurer's pants and the shirt, you can go ahead and throw those away. And then make sure you just kind of sort your inventory here. And again, you could store these if you want. You do not drop anything from your items tab on death, unless you're a griefer, a PvPer that has accumulated a lot of corruption. Only then will you start actually dropping, it drops equipment. So, I haven't really heard yet of people having their inventory items drop, but it could. I don't know enough about having high enough corruption, because you have to gank a lot of people to get that built up. Now, before we head out from this little area, across from the mailbox and the storage clerk, over in this corner is equipment vendor Liza. And what you're going to do is you're going to buy 2 mining satchels. It's only 2 silver, 88 copper. It's not a lot. Go ahead and buy those, and then you're going to put them on. And there's 2 ways to put them on. You can either right-click it from here to swap it into a bag slot. So now we have a mining bag slot. And you may be thinking, why does it look like this? The reason why is that mining items, this is the most space they can occupy. But what's cool about a mining satchel is that it increases the stack size of stone or things that you mine. So if I were to mine granite, which is a 2x2 block, it stacks up to 20 in this bag. But in this bag, it will stack up to 43 because it gives an additional stack size of 23. And we're going to need to fill up 2 bags. The other way to swap out your bag is to click this button and then click the bag that you want to swap in or out. And you could only swap bags if there's, enough room to swap bags, or if the bags are empty, of course. So, yeah, there you go. Now, with that purchased, we are going to go northwest over here to Provisioner Hammersong. And this layout of Hammer Rest may look a little awkward and weird, but it's really just big rooms connected by hallways and stairs. That's all it is. And we're going to go right over here and accept the quest. There we go. Talk to the Provisioner. And they want us to craft a bag. Now, we're going to be crafting 2 bags because this is a general bag, which is better for mob grinding. Way better than the satchels we just bought. However, we need to do mining, and we're going to need the mining satchels to fill up in one trip. and it's worth the 96 copper. You're going to want swappable bags in your inventories anyway. Alright, so also, this quest gives us gathering gear. So you have green gathering gear, and the difference isn't too bad. The gear you start with, it's 2 speeds slower, however, it's only 38 durability versus 165. So if I were to go fishing, it would take me about 1 hour to ruin all the durability on this fishing pole. And when something breaks, you just take it to a vendor, they can repair it for a small fee. Not a big deal. So what you're going to do is swap, just right-click all of your gathering gear to swap on the good stuff. Also, we got another chest for a recipe. This is for a belt. You want to get the recipe for the Squire belt because it is the one that is heavy. You won't be crafting this. You're going to find something better from mob drops, but it's just good to learn it anyway. And go ahead and sort your inventory a bit, and there we go. We are all set. So what we're going to do first is we are actually going to do the quest here for gathering. And again, we're level 5, so we're going to get credit in the Destiny section for it. So go to the main hall and go northeast, and you'll see the sun if it's daytime, if it's nighttime. Yeah, it's very blinding, you know, burn your eyeballs. But before you actually go outside, there's a few things we need to do. So these are commission boards, and they look like this. They're in every little town and settlement. You're going to just take everything on it. These are little repeatable quests that refreshes every 1 hour on this board, sometimes in 30 minutes. I don't know the exact time. But this one has us killing rams, ravens, stone hawks, mountain lions, and going to the Vinebreaker mines, which is what we're going to be doing more towards the end of the video. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to do some herbalism. But we're also, before we start, we're going to ride down here to the Hammer's Rest Trades Outpost, because they have a lot more quests for us to pick up from commission boards. And because we want to stack our quests while we go gather, because sometimes you can get gathering quests, it just makes you level up more efficiently and faster, especially because the rewards for commissions can give you scrolls that boost your XP gain by a certain percent for a certain amount of time. So very nice to do. So what I'm doing now is I am riding south down here towards the Hammer Rest Trades Outpost. So just for riding to this outpost, you unlock an Adventurer Destiny that gives you 1,000 XP and 5 of the green dim glints, which you should immediately just vendor real quick so that you don't have it on your character. So there we go. We're going to, again, sell the glint, acquire silver. That's what we're doing right now. Next up, we're going to go to these 2 commission boards, and sometimes the game is bugged and they don't work. In my last video, they didn't work. But go to this small little green one. It looks like this. Interact with it. We already picked these up, so the game will say accepted, but it won't do anything. And it doesn't matter if you have a duplicate quest from whatever town. Once you complete it, you can claim it right then and there. You don't have to like go anywhere and turn it in. Anyway, on the right here is another commission board. And yeah, so this is still bugged out. Refreshes in 116 days. Cool. Maybe it'll be unbugged later in the video. But you run here, you pick up the quests, and some of them will have you gathering items, and some of them will have you, you know, killing mobs or whatever. But I'll put on the screen the ones you want to pick up. Here are all the commissions you should get. Anything that involves killing stuff is good. Anything that involves chopping eastern hemlock, mining granite, mining slate, turning in rubies, turning in tendonite or copper or zinc, picking dandelions and snowdrop, or fishing frost flash. Those are the only resources you can gather right now as a new player. And let me just introduce to you what an eastern hemlock looks like. It is this tree right in front of me. It's like a dark brown tree with, you know, branches that hit the top of your head if you're a tall character. It'll say adult eastern hemlock. You could chop the adolescent ones, but they don't give as much for the time, so you should really just skip the adolescent ones and chop the adult ones instead. They also have a higher chance for rarer drops, so that's what you generally want to do. Alright, it is now time to gather for the main story quest that we have, or the starter quest rather. You're going to face north and go back towards Hammer Rest, and you're looking for dandelion and snowdrop, and I will show you what those look like. You are looking for piles of orange or white flowers on the ground. And you may not be used to it at first, but once you start gathering, you're going to really notice pretty quick what they look like. So you'll see here there is a little pile of white flowers here on the ground. Just walk up to it, you'll see a dot, get near the dot, make sure your character is not moving, and then push F, and your character will start to harvest it. Just like any other MMORPG with Gathering, New World, World of Warcraft, Albion Online. You've done this before in other games, I hope. But what this did, this gave me 3 Snowdrop, and here it is in the inventory. You need a combined total of 23 herbs, because we're going to be crafting more thread than what the quest wants. We're going to be making an extra bag than the quest wants, and yeah, we're going to get that done. So this is Daffodil. I put Dandelion on the screen. I meant Daffodil, so that's my bad. I don't know if Dandelion is in the game, but it is the orange, yellow-colored flower here on the ground. That one gave me 3, and again, just continue to do this until you have 23 total. Also note, the rarity doesn't really matter for what we're crafting. So yeah, just 23 of any rarity is all we need. Do note, gathering in this game gives you experience points as well as experience points towards that gathering profession. So I'm getting herbalist experience points, and I'm also getting just flat experience points. So this is a way you can level up. If you love gathering and you know someone that needs all this stuff, you don't even have to kill mobs. You can just go grab flowers all day, every day. But you're going to level up slower. You're going to not have the weapon skills. And it's, in my opinion, it's not as fun. It's not as fun. So you can see I have 18 plus 3, that's 21 plus 3, that is 24. So that is more than enough, and it's time to head back to town. So crafting in this game can be a little weird, so I'm going to show you how to do it. So you'll notice that we have the quest marker here in the top corner, showing number 1 here, to craft or tailor a simple rucksack. So what we need to do first is purchase Drat Wine Wax. It wants us to buy 5 of these. So we're going to go to the textile mill vendor here, and we're going to actually buy 23 of these. Click the materials tab, and the quickest way to find this is to use the search. I'm just going to type DR for Drat. I'm going to left click this, click quantity, and I'm going to put in 23. It's going to cost 1.84 flat plus tax is 2.76, or 2 silver, 76 copper. I have 31 silver. We're fine. Go ahead and purchase that. There we go. Then it wants us to purchase a Packrite's Universal Strap Set. Again, so we're still on the same vendor. I'm just going to type Pack, and you'll see Packrite Universal Strap Set. I'm going to buy 2 of these, because we're going to craft 2 bags. There we go, and that costs 24 copper. Now, it wants us to weave coarse thread. We're going to go over here to the, this is called the weaving table. It looks just like this with this icon. We're going to push F on it, and we're going to click the coarse thread down here. And we're going to drag this quantity slider to 23. We have the Drat Wine Wax, and then we're going to add flowers and hold shift right click, and that's just going to automatically put it over here. You'll notice I have, 1 spillover, so it's not going to over consume what you don't need. So we have 23 plants, 23 Drat Wine Wax. We hit start job. This is going to cost 8 silver, 5 copper, and it's going to take 11 minutes and 30 seconds, all right? So we're going to now, for those 11 minutes and 30 seconds, we're going to go back outside, and we're going to kill 4 mountain lions, all right? But we're also going to go mining. We're going to go mining, too. So let me show you the exact route on how to do that. I'm doing this because people, they find it hard to follow, right? So I'm leaving Hammer Rest. I am going northeast, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to follow the road, and we're going to curve around going northeast, and as soon as we come to this mountain pass opening, we're going to go northwest in this little crevice here. And while we do that, we're going to be hunting mountain lions, but we're also going to mine everything that is just around. So, again, it's, I'm just kind of curving around here, and let me show you what mining nodes look like. Normally there's some over here, but someone got them, and they'll respawn over time. So, also I'm going to show you what mountain lions look like. But, we don't need any more of these herbs. You can see there's plenty of herbs on the ground for us to pick. But we've already got what we need to craft our weapons and our bags. They're just cooking right now. They're, let them cook or whatever, right? So these are mountain lions. Now, there's something special about mountain lions in that they have a little star next to them. This denotes that they are an elite enemy, all right? Enemies go 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, and then I don't know what they are after that. I've never seen anything beyond 3 stars. But 1 star means it's a little bit stronger than normal, but also it means that it gives more XP. So you're going to kill 4 of these, and it's pretty straightforward. You just run up and start murdering them, just as you would anything else. And we could AoE these if we want. We can actually pull a whole bunch of mountain lions at once and kill a bunch at a time. These things don't really hurt us. They're just very weak physical enemies. I don't know why they're considered elites. I guess it's just to teach you the game or something, but Yeah. Anyway, so you'll see here I'm going northwest along this crevice. And we're on the lookout on the sides for mining nodes. There's like a bunch coming up here on the left and on the right side. Now, I'm playing at 7 in the morning on a Tuesday, so it shouldn't be too busy right now. On a low-pop server, on a fresh server-ish, about a week old. There we go, we got some mining nodes. Now, the ones that look like this is slate. And you know that because you walk up to it, it says basalt. Mine basalt. And then these that are like bumpy are granite. Not slate. We can't mine slate. We can only mine basalt and granite. Anyway, you just walk up, you push F, it'll do the mining animation. It does take a little while. That's what happens when you're a new player with crappy gathering tools. And then it'll burst, you'll get some items. Now, basalt and granite have a chance to drop metals and gems. And so, you'll see that it automatically puts the stuff we mine into the satchels. When the satchels are full, it will start putting it in here. So I'm going to just throw this flour away, and I'm going to make some room here for more mining stuff. And that's all we're doing right now for the next 11 minutes, or preferably until our bags are completely full of mining materials. We're going to just run around, mine stuff, and kill mountain lions. That's pretty much it. And you can kill other things too if you want, but the mountain lions are really, they have the best drops, the best XP. They're also very easy to kill, so that's why we're going to be doing that. So you should be level 5 by now. You should also have some weapon levels, or stamina rather. I'm just going to put a point there. So for archetype, the next thing that you want to grab is right here in the middle. And you want to grab the one that has AoE shield damage. So this one is 125% physical damage to enemies in front of you. Alright, so that's pretty much it. This one is a single target, which is what you don't want. So grab Shield Assault. Even though we don't have a shield, we can still use this ability. Also, it's a movement ability, so it'll dash us forward if we need to. Not really enough, not really more than dodge roll, but it's still something better than nothing. But anyway, prioritize mining, and then in between mining nodes, kill your mountain lions. You only need to slay 4 for the commission quest, but you're going to be killing a lot of mountain lions anyway, because they're just the best XP per hour for our level. And they respawn in 20 seconds versus 3 minutes in other zones. Oh, I moved. If you move, it resets the whole thing, so try not to move. With your new ability, your rotation is as follows. You're going to cast Grit to get defensive. You're going to then you're going to Tremoring Blow into Desolate, into Shield Assault, and then spam your Vengeance. And there you go. And then you're gonna let your combo do its thing. And there you go. It's very easy to kill. They're so weak and so simple to kill. Also, you might aggro other creatures, and that's fine. Just, repeat your combo there. And yeah, you can see, like, we just absolutely body creatures. Like, they can't stand a chance. Mother Nature doesn't know what hit them. Oh, by the way, you'll notice I killed a raven, but I did not get credit for it. And that is because the game is coded to only give you credit for certain animals in certain areas. And they forgot to make the ravens in this area quest awardable for some reason. Again, it's an alpha. Don't worry about it. It'll get fixed when it gets fixed. They've got more important stuff to work on at the moment than most starter quests, okay? So don't let it bum you out, but the game tells you where to go. So for number 2, go anywhere where there's a circle of number 2 and kill ravens in those circles. You'll get credit for it, trust me. As you mine and craft things, you're going to be unlocking more destinies as well. So in this case, buy a crafting component from a vendor. We did that, that's 300 XP. For gathering, we got equip a gathering bag and gather 50 wood, stone, or metal. So there you go. For mountain lions, it's better that you don't fight them one-on-one. Switch to your ranged weapon and just shoot as many as you can target or stand a target at a time. You're gonna have to get a feel of how many you can pull at a time, but I'm gonna try to pull a whole buttload of them. And if they pounce on you, they will knock you down, and that kind of sucks. But if you dodge roll at the right time, they'll miss. And if you just angle your movement at the right time, they'll also miss. But there we go. We just pulled a bunch. Let's get defensive here, and let's stack them up and then AoE them down. You can see, again, we deal lots and lots of damage here. And yeah, they're hitting us pretty hard, but not too hard. I think we win the fight here. You know, it'll be a little close, but there we go. And yeah, they're dead. So there you go. We just got a ton of XP and a bunch of drops and some upgrades. I just saw an upgrade. So we actually got a pretty good cloak here. And we got a green one. 47 defense, 32 physical power. I got a cloak earlier with max health and crit chance with no stats. But this is definitely better. So there we go. That is a... it's not as cool looking because it's, I don't know, it's more dull colored. But yeah, Anyway, once you've pulled a massive amount of mountain lions, you know, just sit down and chill. You can also eat your red clay chunks. I didn't get that many because I didn't stick around and kill the level 1s that much. But, yeah, we're going to do that till level 6. And along with mining, by the way, once you've mined out that little mountain area that's like over here, go over here, kill mountain lions, go back, mine. And we're going to go back to town once your bags are full. You can see that my bags are about halfway full. But we definitely want at least like 80 basalt and 80 granite if you can help it. You may not get that much your first trip. Now, as your weapon levels up and you finished out the deadly finisher chance, you're going to start putting points into power through. This gives your weapon combo attacks penetration. It's just flat more damage. That's pretty much all it is. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. And after you kill 5 mountain lions, you have the kill 5 elite enemies quest reward. That's 1,000 XP, 5 glint. You can also claim more glint here, so that's another 2. That's, again, that's 7 silver. Not too bad. It's not the best, but it's something. Now, once you have completed the board objective, you're going to click the quest here, and then you'll complete the commission here, giving you XP, a random chest, and some glint. Now, these random chests can drop a bunch of random stuff. You just channel it and see what you get. Let's see what we get. And we got a gathering experience scroll. So we can pop this, go gather if we want to level up gathering faster. It's up to you. And yeah. And this thing is not bound, so you could trade this with other players or sell it or whatever. Though the ones you get from chests only last 5 minutes instead of 180. The ones players craft last, I think, 2 hours. 180 minutes, yeah. So they get pretty good sometimes. But you can see we're almost level 6. And I got knocked down. I didn't dodge in time. There we go. We dodged that one. Shoot an arrow up the cat's butt and pull as many as we can. We could definitely pull more if we wanted to, but I get kind of lazy with it. Oh, I didn't use my defensive, so yeah, they're chunking me a bit here. But yeah, we just start the combo. I love those crit numbers. 100% guaranteed crit chance. And I never swapped to melee. Oh no. Alright. There we go. We're about to be able to combo them once again. And again, we can tank all of these, no problem. And look at that. 2 rotations. They're pretty much mostly dead. We're cleaving them down. And now we are level 6. Very, very cool stuff. Also, we got an earring with power and crit chance. And again, you're going to be getting gear upgrades from these guys. At level 6, I recommend you take Slam. This is a courage attack. Courage is that resource that you get here in the top left corner. I know you can't see my mouse. Now you can. It's right here in the top left corner, and it costs 40 courage per cast for 200% physical damage, which is what we've been scaling. The alternative is Intimidation Aura, which is magic damage. We are not built for magic damage. We are not using magical weapons, but if you want to build a magic build tank, then hey, here you go. But it's still really, really good early on because damage scaling isn't as crazy as at high levels. This is 20% magic damage times 8, which is 160% damage on a 20-second cooldown, but it costs mana, so it is what it is. So I'm going to show you Slam, so we're going to learn Slam, and yes, I love it on my V key. So that just stabs in front of you. It's not as big of a cone, so let me now show you Intimidating Aura, and that looks like this, so there you go. And again, you can see, I'm not going to attack the lion here, but you can see that I'm dealing 7 damage a tick, because it's magic damage, whoop-de-doo, right? So we'll, I'm going to wait for the cooldown, 7 more seconds. No, I'm not going to stop recording for 7 seconds. You'll just have to listen to my voice. Sorry, bro. I know, this video's too long, dude. Anyway, we're going to go back to Slam now, and you can see that Slam, look at that, boom, 62 damage. And that's non-crit, because remember, we can crit with this, so, yeah. So, it's a good single target, you know, dealer, but it also, it hits everything in front of you. So, you just back up, make sure all the enemies are in a nice tight line, and then you stab them all to death. So, this makes AoE pulling even easier, and yeah, we're level 6, so we don't really need to be here anymore, but we kind of do. There's a few reasons why, right? And that's for items, materials. It depends if the mines are busy. We still need to gather. There's still a lot in the area that we need to do, but also being level 6, we have more HP. Yeah, but we can actually start soloing the mines now as early as 6. It's really, really nice. Let's get them all here in a line. We're gonna Q into 4. We're going to E them, and then we're going to V them, boom, and then we're going to V them again, because it's based on your courage, right? And yeah, they're all dead in one rotation. One spell rotation, we killed all the lions. Awesome stuff. Alright, so there's a few things we actually need from the lions here, besides random recipes. And that is, we need these anvil's essences. We need 20 total of these. We can get these faster from the mines, but the lions do drop, you know, stuff. Lions drop, they drop bones, lion bones for tanning, and they drop droppings for farming. These are things you will sell to players. It's not something we're going to be using in the video, because you can't really use these until you have higher tier crafting benches. Now, let me teach you a little bit of inventory management here. And so what you want to do when you have dull glint is just combine it so that it frees up inventory space. And once you have at least 2 dim glints, you can combine those into the blue one because it takes up 2 spots, which I didn't do, or I didn't have, but it is whatever. You want to make sure you Tetris everything into these 2x2 blocks so that you can fit some more mining materials. Now, while mining, if you get rare materials, or if you get blue, green, or yellow materials, go ahead and scoot those up into your main bag like this, because chances are you're not going to max out the stack. That's just probably not going to happen. You generally want your common resources like basalt and granite in these areas, and the rarer resources like copper and rubies up here. But you just have to Tetris it around and try to figure it out. Alright, we've killed 25 enemies. That's 5 glint and 1,000 XP in the hatch. I know the expression is down the hatch. I'm trying to farm comments correcting me. That, you know, YouTubers, we do that. We will pronounce words wrong on purpose so that we get your comment. So also at this time, our novice combat is completed. We have learned enough skills to claim this and claim the Wanderer's ranged weapon chest, which is going to give us a better bow. So we're going to pick the Wanderer's longbow for 447 physical power. Alright, so this is a massive upgrade from our 127 physical power bow. And again, the physical power and the stats we get apply while we're sword swinging too. It is a stat stick, so the power from this goes into, again, your overall power. So you want to make sure both your weapons are as strong as possible, even though you aren't really shooting your bow all that much. So I've returned to town. My bags are not full of mining materials yet, unfortunately, but I am going to check the commission board, and it refreshes in 6 minutes, so I'm going to keep that as a mental note. For my time, that's like 6:40 or 7:48 a.m., I guess, and I'm going to go back out, mine some more stuff. But I want to make sure that I get that and continually stack those and do them so that I can just progress faster. Alright, so once you've mined a good amount of materials, my bags are mostly kind of sort of full. I would like more granite, but it's fine. This is what we have is fine. So what I want to do now is I'm going to actually ride down south into the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost, and we're going to refine some of the stone into sand, and by doing so, it gives us a chance to receive metal from it. We're not going to be using the sand to craft anything, at least not in this video. You'll probably just sell it for whatever, or use it on your own stuff, but we are refining it in order to have a chance to get more metals, which is what we need to craft our weapons. And so to do that, we are going to go right here to this little town area, and no, I'm in the wrong spot. Further down, further down. Yeah, it's on this side. So we're going to go to the smithy vendor, and what we want to do is we want to buy a bunch of materials for how much, whichever one you have, basalt or granite, whichever one has most of. You're going to count how much we have. So we have 43 plus 38. That'd be 78. That'd be like 81. We have 81 basalt we need to turn into sand. So I'm going to go to the smithy vendor. And we are going to buy, I think it's called crag salt. Yeah, crag shatter salts. And how much did I say? 81, I think? I forget. I got to do the math again. 40, 78. Yeah, 81. So we're going to buy 81 of these. And yes, it's a little pricey. It will be pricey. All right, after tax, 972. That's a good chunk of money. That was half of our money. But hey, you know, we got some glint. We're going to go ahead and sell our glint. And only the glint. There we go. And with that, we are going to go over here to this furnace-looking thing. This is called the metalworking station. It looks like an anvil. And we're going to go to sand and go to crush basalt. I guess I only had 81. We're going to drag that slider all the way up. Or I just bought 81 salts. And then we are going to shift right-click. There we go, 81 basalt. And that's going to cost 6 silver, 48 copper. And it's going to take 1 hour and 21 minutes. Yeah, it takes a while. So go ahead and again, we're going to be able to get copper, zinc, tendonite, and coal from this. So go ahead and start it. And yeah, so that took a chunk of our money, and that's fine. Right, this is just the beginning. We have 27 silver right now, which we're going to still process because we're going to need to process a lot of stuff. So at this time, we're going to go back to Hammer Rest. We're going to go up north to Hammer Rest, and we're going to do the same thing again for our granite. So I have 42 plus 5 granite. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to cut to when I get there. On entering Hammer Rest, we're going to go back to the commission board, and like I said earlier, pick up that Slay 4 Mountain Lions quest once again. And we'll go do that here in a little bit, but right now, we're going to go to the same, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go up the stairs and go to the middle working station and do that, the same thing for granite. We're turning granite into sand. So the vendor is right here, and how many did I say we had? We had 42 plus 5, that'd be 47. And yeah, so just type crag, shatter salt, we need 47. 47, alright, purchase, and that's 5 silver. Ugh, it hurts. And then we're going to go to sand and turn the granite into sand. There we go. And I'm hitting the wrong button. Control right click only adds 1 at a time. And that's going to take 47 minutes and 3, it's going to cost us about 4 silver almost. But now with that, we can then return over here to the mill, or the, whatever this is called, what is it? The weaving station, and pick up our coarse thread. There we go. Send to inventory. Then we're going to go over here to the tailoring station, and we're going to click bag and click simple rucksack. You can only craft one of these at a time. We're going to add the 5 coarse thread, and then click craft. It's only 75 copper, and that will complete the quest. Alright, now we're going to do that one more time, because we want 2 bags. Awesome stuff. Alright, very, very cool. So yeah, we're going to go over here now, turn in the quest. Complete. And then we get another quest, and it's to, you guessed it, to grab another crate. And before you grab that crate, because again, grabbing crates flags you for PvP. And even though there's guards around this time to save you if someone attacks you, if they still one-shot you, you still lose your materials. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go over to the... I can kill this guy. He's level 5. Well, he's a tank. He'd be pretty hard to kill, but he has no PvP protection. He's just sitting here. There's actually no guard... There's no guards over here. Except there's a guard over there, and I'm in range of that guard, so I would die. But if I was a high-level player, I could just gank this guy, get all his glint, and he would be stuck, right? Not really stuck, but he'd be screwed, let's say that. So go to your storage and put everything except your glint into storage, and I mean all of it. Oh, control left click is, or control right click is actually working for me this time. Look at that. Now I'm not putting the glint in storage because I'm gonna sell that real quick, and it's not much, but this is what we have in storage right now, and we're gonna need more. We're gonna need to put more stuff in there later, but we're just gonna again, we're just gonna sell the glint. There we go. Awesome. So now we have our bags are empty. Let's swap out these mining satchels for the simple rucksacks. They're not as big as our starter bag, but they're nice. They're just nice to have. There we go. Because we probably don't need to mine anymore. We might. It depends on how lucky we get with sand, but we probably won't need to. Next up, we are going to go and turn in we're going to do the crate quest now, which is pretty simple. Again, if we get ganked, we lose nothing. So now we're safe. So we're going to pick up the crate. We can now be PvP'd. And we just have to take it across the hall. And I'm going to, again, I've already told you this, but if you do combat rolls, dodge rolls, whatever you want to call them, well, it's going to get you there just a little bit faster, all right? You can also, like, maybe jump down the stairs a bit or something, but I'm going to skip ahead to when I turn it in. I know the mini-map is not complete. It's, like, completely dark, but it's, over here is, like, the storage area. You're very familiar with the storage. You just continue over here into this random room. There's going to be, like, scaffolding over here. And you're going to walk, you're not going to talk to the NPC, you're going to go to the scaffolding, and that's where you turn in the crate. And that's, even though the button's not showing up on my UI for some reason, there it is. You just click deliver, push F, and there you go, that completes the quest. Run back to the NPC, and get the follow-up. Now, that's teaching you how to go to settlements and bring supply crates to settlements. Which you kind of don't really want to do unless you're in a guild, or you've got some protection. Or you've got a mount that's a beast of burden mount that will help you haul those things. Because otherwise you're going to be on foot and you're just a walking free loot bag, essentially. But there we go. We have now completed this quest. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Commander Dune's Chasm back in the middle, and he's going to send us to the Vinebreaker Mines, which is where we're going to be grinding next. And not all characters can grind there this early, but as a tank, we absolutely can, because we're a tank, damn it. Head to the Vinebreaker Mines. So the Vinebreaker Mines, let me show you where that's at. So once you leave the mountain, you go south, and then you go to the Hammer Rest Trades Outpost. You go south, you take this fork on the right, it'll be your left when you're playing, but the rightmost fork, all the way down, and then you jump into the river here, and then the mines are just on the right side. And that's where we're going to be heading next, because we need more money. We only have 17 silver, and we're going to need at least 40 more, I believe. But we got some chest rewards, and these are very important. If you mess this stuff up, start over, or just prepare to be under-geared until you're level 11 or 12. Alright, so these 4 chests, you have one that has an arcane and a might potion, and again, you have 2 potion recipe boxes and 2 weapons boxes. So we're just going to open the potion ones and then pick both different potions. So I picked arcane, so this time I'll pick might, and we'll just learn both of those. Not a big deal, that's not important. What is important is the weapons boxes. So for the first weapon box, we are going to choose the Wayward Longbow, and we're going to learn that. For the second box, we are going to choose the Wayward Greatsword and learn that. And those are the 2 items we'll be crafting that are going to make us absolutely overpowered early on. And these, as far as I know, are the craftable best-in-slot weapons for those 2 weapon types until level 10. There is a mob very, very far south that everyone farms, like some boss monster, way freaking down here somewhere. I think it's like... I forget. It's like way down over here somewhere. Actually, yeah, it's over here at the Hall Adjudication. There's a mob in the Hall Adjudication. There's 1 million people here. It's got like 50 people at a time. They're all in groups, and they're all mega farming it. And it's not really something you can comfortably solo anyway. But that mob has a very 0.01% chance to drop a greatsword with 1,200 damage. You're going to replace that after level 10 with just basic crafting anyway, with player trades, with settlement stuff. So it's not worth farming. It's not worth gambling to go get. You're in competition with 50 other people to get it. Don't even think about it. Alright, so now, what we're going to do before we head to the Vinebreaker Mines, we're going to go kill 4 mountain lions again. Because that is what our little commission quest wants to do. And we want to do that every time it's off cooldown. Alright, we knocked that out super quick. Let's see what we get this time. And this time we get a crafting experience scroll. So let me explain how the processing and the crafting experience scrolls work. And that is, you get the experience when you claim the completed item. Not when it finishes crafting, but when you click claim on the crafting bench. So you would pop the scroll before you claim it if you are interested in doing that. But another thing too is that you would want to craft a large amount of stuff and then pop the scroll so that you get a large amount of bonus XP. Though I heard this is being changed, so it might not work in the future. Now, on your way through the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost, make sure you check the commission boards. Hey, look, I don't think that'll let me get that again. Okay, it did let me get it again. Cool. So yeah, it refreshed in this town, but not the other town. And that's fine. That's how we're going to stack them. We'll do the lions again. We don't need to backtrack. This one's still broken, though. Oh, they need to fix this. Because doing these really speeds up the process. So I might be a little bit slower, but it's not too bad. Also, if you want to bind to this so that if you die, you respawn here, you can. It's not necessary, though, because it is the closest one, so you can still teleport to it if you die anyway. Alright, so when you get to this part of the map, which is right here at the river, you're going to use your mount, dash, and then jump off the side here, and you take no fall damage if you land into water, so don't be afraid. The worst that can happen is you hit the rocks and your mount dies, and you can't use it for 10 minutes. Now, what you're going to be doing for the next 3 minutes is you're going to be fishing. We need to fish 8 Frost Flash, and here is how you do it. You're going to get yourself near this river. You're going to push the K button, and then you're going to click Skill Book, and then you're going to go down here to Artisan, and click Fishing. Then you're going to drag the fishing ability, just put it on your hotbar somewhere, and all you have to do is when you're near the water, click this fishing icon, and that is it. It will automatically fish for you. And all we need to do is catch 8 Frost Flash fish. This process is completely AFK. And if you have stuff to do in real life and you want to level fishing for some reason, you can go do the dishes, go grocery shopping, and all that stuff. Now, later in the game, you won't have PvP protection anymore, and it's very common for people to assume you are AFK, and they will kill you and take your fish. Well, some of your fish. You still get to keep 50%. 25% trashes, 25% goes to them, and then you keep the remaining 50%. But, because we are under level 10, we still have the PvP protection, and so you can safely fish, you can walk away from the computer if you want. But again, we only need 8 fish, and it can take some time, but last time I did this, it took 3 minutes to gather 8 fish. We only need 8 fish. We're going to be turning them into oil to craft a weapon later, and again, you can keep fishing if you want, if you find it fun, whatever, but they don't sell for very much, and honestly, fishing is more of a group clan, guild activity, gathering activity. It is not a very solo-friendly activity unless you're very stealthy out in the middle of the ocean, doing sport fishing, and even then, the money is not worth sport fishing currently. That things could change, but who knows. Anyway, I'm gonna get 8 fish. Alright, so I have 8 fish, and this time it took 5 minutes, so it is a variable. It's not always gonna be 3 minutes. It was 3 minutes for my other character, this time it was 5. Alright, cool. So, from the river, just go straight from the trees following the wall here east, and that will be the entrance to the mine. And I'm going to show you my favorite route in the mine for the easiest enemies, because we have 2 quests. Cull 6 enemies. Once we actually go into the mines, and hey, it's Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate, guys. They named their priest, their cleric Shadowheart. That's funny. Anyway, so we're in the Vinebreaker Mines. The quest now updated to kill 10 mobs and gather 2 strange ore samples. The ore samples are these glowing rocks on the ground, and there might be enemies around. There might be elite enemies. So we're just gonna, I know it's dark, but I'm gonna grab this ore and grab this ore. Now, from the entrance, my favorite route ever is as soon as you enter the cave, you take a hard right, where this Shadowheart character is going. There's a bunch of easy-to-kill enemies called Rocklings, and there's also two star bosses that spawn that are relatively easy to kill for good drops and good XP. But this is a Rockling, they're level 5, they're super squishy, they're super easy to kill. And again, just, you can fight them you don't need to fight them one at a time, you can fight them like 14 at a time. Oh, they dropped earrings. Very nice. We can go and put those on. Nice gear upgrade. But yeah, so I like to just kind of go back and forth between the Rockling spawns, which a bunch of them spawn in this hallway, but they've all been cleared. This area is heavily farmed. This person is now running away. I don't know why a cleric came here at they could do it at level 6. They could actually do this at level 6. Clerics are pretty good. This world boss guy, level 9 tank, he's also got some buffs up. So he's waiting on spawns, but yeah, I like to just kind of run up and down the path here, and we're just going to do the quests. And the enemies, you'll notice some of the enemies are elites. They have the star next to them. They are a little bit tough, and we are only level 6 right now, but we're a tank, so we're built to last, okay? Just mash all of your abilities, just like you did before, and they'll fall. There we go. And yeah, we're taking more damage this time, but that's fine. You know, we're dishing out just as much damage. Just make sure you're using your abilities whenever they're off cooldown. There we go. Actually, I didn't put up my protections, so I'm taking a bit more damage than I should. But you can see that the elite is the only one left standing. That's just going to be the case. There we go. We got our protection up. But we just want to complete the quests for now, so we can stack commissions, and then we'll go back. And the drops are better here. The drops are better here. It's better to get your oils here as well, your anvil essence, as it's called, not oil. I don't have any in my inventory to show you. But yeah, we're gonna farm this, do the quests, go back, get more commissions, come back, do the commissions, and we're gonna ping pong between the mountain lions and this place, depending on how busy it is. Because okay, I'm getting attacked by a caster. There we go. Sorry. But essentially, yeah, we're just gonna go between the 2 zones, whichever one is least crowded, because we want the zone mostly to ourselves. So if you are a late night gamer, you don't have like a real life job. Oh, we got a ring there. It's better to play, you know, late at night than, you know, during prime time, if you can help it. If not, it is what it is. Just note that this area does get pretty crowded. But this is going to be your stomping grounds, and we got an earring. We just keep getting gear upgrades. I already got earrings. But we're going to keep doing this until level 10, essentially. We're just going to ping pong between mountain lions in this place until 10. And World Boss just said law, so I just got recognized. I am a YouTuber. But yeah, let's pull these Rocklings. And you can see we should be able to take all of them, even though we're at half HP. I'm going to pop a potion just because, I don't know, because I'm a little unsure. But yeah, we're just grabbing the rocklings right now. And again, I'm grabbing all of them. It looks like they've grabbed these, so this is all I can grab right now. Let's pop defenses. Let's get our AoEs going. There we go. And look at that. They are almost completely dead in one rotation. And this is a lot of XP. It's a lot of items. It's a lot of drops. We completed all of our quests. Pretty good stuff. And now we're out of here. For now, we'll come back, though. All right? And then finding your way out can be a little tricky. But, yeah, we're just going to go west, go down the ramp. And then the exit's right here. You'll get used to it the more you play. You'll learn your way around the cave. It's important to do the commissions so that we get this commission, 5 commissions completed, which will give us the next adventuring reward for better armor, for better leggings. So, very important. You'll notice you also got a quest to deliver the intel to a Hammer Guard scout in a settlement. This is when you actually decide to go to a settlement. You can't do settlement stuff till 10, so just hold on to this quest. They're also pretty far away. There's one over here, there's one way down here. There's one in each settlement, essentially, right? And we don't need to run and turn that in for a measly 1,600 XP. That's like barely one mob pool. We kill one 2-star elite, that's 1,400 XP. You know, each of those rocklings, how much were those worth? Like 200 to 400, yeah, 243 each. And we pulled a whole bunch of them, right? So it is not worth riding all the way out there for 1,600 XP and then riding all the way back to get back to farming. So again, right now what I'm going to do now is we're going to go to the trade outpost and try to get more of the kill 6 enemies in Vinebreaker Mines quest. We'll do the mountain lions too, because it was a little busy in there. There was a lot of people, and it looks like there were groups of people. So it's not really an ideal farm spot right now, but we're going to just kind of go back and forth. The mountain lions also drop the anvil's essences, and we need 20 total of these to craft our weapons. And this is going to be kind of the roadblock you'll face is the anvil essence. All right. Sometimes you get lucky and you get a ton, and sometimes you get none. But let me tell you right now, if the mines are too crowded and the mountain lions are too crowded, because my videos are starting to pick up steam and they're starting to get more views. You can go back into the starter area where all of those clay monsters were, the clay guardians, that big room with a ton of them, and go farm there. They're only level 4, and while we're level 6, we still get a lot of XP per kill. It's like 300 a kill per guardian. So it is a viable place to level up and farm essence and farm glint. Glint is very important because we're a broke boy right now. We only have 17. We need 40 plus silver in order to process a bunch of wood we need to cut, which doesn't take much time to cut the wood, so we'll do that later. But right now, our job is to grind. So I'm going to go kill the mountain lions, turn that in, maybe check the clay boys, and go grind there. I got to grind somewhere. By the way, a faster way to kill the 4 mountain lions is instead of going through this pass, just curve on this way, and there's a bunch of mountain lions sometimes. A lot of players kind of farm in this little area because it's closer, but I did that out of order. My bad. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. But anyway, yeah, I'm just killing the 4 mountain lions. I'm going back inside, and then I'm going to grind some clay boys, and I'll show you that too. All right, but before we do anything, since we're in town, we're going to store our stuff. We're going to also make some fish oil right here at the cooking station. This is outside of Hammer Rest. And if we go to the cooking station and click oil and click frost flash oil, you'll see we'll need grease weft cloth. We're going to need 8 of these. Now, you'll notice that it says purchased from laboratory or laboratory. I don't know how to pronounce words. I don't know which one is correct either. So let me show you where the laboratory is. Also, real quick, I'm going to check the commission board here and pick up another coal 6 enemies in the Vinebreaker Mines. Very good. All right, cool. So it is over near the little mage staff icon, which is known as the arcane something. Arcane engineering station. It looks like a magic staff, okay? Here's the magic staff crafting bench. Next to it is the laboratory vendor. All right, and we need a grease item, so I'm just going to type grease into the search. Grease weft cloth. We want to buy 8 of these. And there we go. Purchase. That is 96 copper. And with that, we can now go back outside and get these fish processed into oil. So once again, we're here at the cooking station. We click oil, click frost flash, drag it all the way to the right, click add fish, add our fish with shift right click, submit. We're going to pay $2.80. It's going to take 4 minutes to do. Not too much time, not compared to everything else. And then we're all set to go grind some more. But, again, we want to sell our glint and store everything in case we die. And even if you die in PvE, if mobs down you, you still drop your stuff, you still lose your stuff. So it's very, very important because money is tight right now. We want to make sure that we are not dying and losing anything, because that will lose lots of time that we need for vendoring. So I'm just going to go to the laboratory vendor here because it was closest and sell everything. And then, well, I'm selling glint, not everything. Someone will take that the wrong way. We're going to store the 2 anvils essences, which is all the way across the damn hall. I'm going to skip to that so you don't have to watch me. I'm going to take a note here. We need 9 more essence. So I'm going to grind until I have a bunch more glint to convert to silver and more essence. Oh, by the way, you might have completed some of the gathering challenges, and the next chest reward is the gatherer's shirt box. You can pick whatever gathering profession you like. I am not going to recommend you anything as a starter guide. Now, as a tank, you would probably want to go armor smithing if you're serious about, like, grouping and stuff. If you're just doing solo stuff, then weaponsmithing. I don't really know enough about the crafting yet to really give you a recommendation. That is a whole separate video, but you can still claim the little rewards down here. You get 2 glint. So yeah, very nice stuff. And you can still claim the chest to make the damn pop-up thing go away, because that can be annoying. Destiny reward available. Yeah, I know, bro. But, again, you won't lose the chest in your inventory. Just don't pick a random shirt and then regret it later. Not that it's a big deal. This is all tier 1 stuff anyway. Once the server gets established and settlements get built up, you can just go and grind mobs and trade silver at a marketplace for better stuff anyway. Now, even though we're a higher level, these guys still kind of aggro when you get near them. Sometimes. Sometimes they don't, right? But, yeah, we can start mass pulling now. And, again, we can pull entire rooms if we want. And, yeah. So I'm just going to do that with the mount. And, yeah, I know the lighting gets weird. It's fine. See, like, okay, yeah, they're a little laggy there, but... So we're going to pull that whole room, and then we're just going to dismount. Pop our defensive, start slashing. Again, these guys are, like, absolutely nothing to us. Look at this. They just melt. They're just dead as hell, right? And then we can just finish them off with our V ability, our slam. Even though it's a forward stab. And look at all the loot we're going to get. Okay, there wasn't a lot of loot that time for some reason. But we still get a lot of XP from that, alright? A whole bunch. And we have very short cooldowns. So, again, we can just continuously do this. And it can be a little difficult sometimes. Sometimes they just don't aggro because of the server or something. And sometimes they do. Like, let's do a little shuffle. Just use your mount and fart on them, I guess. But also, the problem with using the mount is that I'm not tagging these guys. So someone else could just hit them all and then steal the tag, which is not what we want to do. Also, this one's attacking the mount. But yeah, you know, there's a few people here farming, so this cougars might, mountain lions might actually be better. I'm not really sure, but you just kind of have to experiment with it and see what works for you. All right, so let me show you an example of pulling the mobs. So again, just attack the whole room if you want. I'm using a bow. I'm just going to click on all of them, shoot them once. That way I get the mob tag. And yeah, I hit these dudes pretty hard with the bow. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to also pop a defensive here, so I'm a little bit more tanky. And again, we're just grabbing all of them. Every single one. And they give good XP because that's just what they do. I don't know why they give good XP. We also have this part of the room over here. Now, if I take way too long, they start to de-aggro. And yeah, a few of the other players in the area kind of want some mobs for themselves too. But here we go. We've got everyone pulled up. I'm currently stunned, double stunned. It's fine. We're a tank. We can handle it. And then we just kill them. And look at this. So the fighter can also do this, and that's pretty much it at this early level. The cleric can kind of do it, but it's a lot slower with the cleric. It's just safer. And there we go. We're level 7. Very cool. But look at all the item drops. So we can just yoink all this stuff. Lots of money, lots of essence, recipes, pieces of gear that may be upgrades, maybe not, but you can still sell them. We got recipes. That's a girdle. That is a belt. So that's an upgrade there. These items aren't upgrades, but we can still sell them. Very cool stuff. So I want to talk about level 7 spells. So what you can do is you can use charge, and I'll go ahead and show you charge real quick because I like charge. I think charge is cool. So like let's say instead of having to run over and fight a mob, I can just charge at them, right? But this thing is going to hit everything that you collide with, right? Well, actually, I think that's when you talent it with this. Adds a knockback to targets in the way of your charge. So, whenever you have a big pile of mobs that you're killing like I just did, you're going to charge the one in the back so that you charge through all the ones in the front, dealing damage. It's not a lot of damage, and it's really not necessary right now, but it's just fun to have. Because, like, I can charge around through the room, right, while I'm pulling everything. It just makes pulling easier. You can also go with the Intimidation aura if you want to do that, too. But I like charge. I like having a movement ability in my games. So there we go. So I can, like, charge this dude, and I charged into him, and it kept charging. So it just makes pulling the whole damn room that much easier. And again, we just hit level 7, so let's do, this is a smaller pull. So let's go ahead and just hit them all. There we go. Realign to hit these guys with slam, and just look how fast they fall. So this one pull, I don't know what, took a minute to do maybe, and that gave us 4.5% of a level. So yeah, you do that like 20 times, and boom, you're level 8, right? But if you were doing this in the Vinebreaker mines, and you could totally pull a whole lot of the mines, not all of the mines, but a lot of the mines, then you can absolutely level even faster there, but it's crowded right now, so I gotta go here. Another kind of cheesy trick you can do is with Intimidation Aura, or Intimidating Aura. You summon your mount, and hold on, I had my mount over there, so yeah, I had my mount over there. Let's get it back over here. And what you do is you cast Intimidating Aura, and then you jump on your mount super quick, and you dash around, and your Intimidating Aura will actually tag the mob for you, but it's such a short little cooldown, you can't really tag that many. So, again, it's a way to tag a few mobs, but I'd rather just charge. I think charging around is just better in general. Go ahead and pull these guys. These guys are the ones that stun, so the laborers, you gotta watch out for them. Because when you're stunned, you're taking like a lot more damage, I feel like. Maybe, maybe not. Alright. And then also Intimidating Aura, you can see it doesn't deal a whole lot of damage. I just don't think it's really worth taking this early. If you're like a spell tank or a mage tank, then yeah, it's pretty cool. It deals a lot of damage. But, you know, everything else scales with physical, so why would you take it? Why would you be a mage tank this early for one skill? It makes no sense to me. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to keep grinding here until I have, I need 3 more of these essences, and then I'm going to check my silver. One green glint is 1 silver, and right now we're at 26. That's 36, 39. We're almost above 40. So once we're above 40 silver, we can afford to start refining the wood that we need. At weapon level 8, you can start to choose the second tier of abilities. So ward is really nice because it gives you a baseline 5% block chance. You can also do keen edge for crit strike chance on your auto attacks, which is nice. But besides the block chance, this also heals you for a percentage of your maximum health. And as a tank, guess what? Who has the most maximum health in the game? You do. So ward is what you want to choose for your greatsword. For longbow, you could also do ward, but because you're generally pulling with the bow and not fighting with it, I like to go crit rate or keen edge on the bow. So this is what our weapons look like. We have wound on the bow, 3 levels of the finisher chance, and 2 levels of the power through. And on the sword, oh, I gotta save changes. On the sword, same thing, except we have bleed, and that way we have more damage. We have the deadly finisher and the 2 levels of power through. Alright, so now I have at least 9 of these essences. I've got enough glint to have above 40 silver. We can go pick up our fish oil now, and we can start chopping some trees. Before we do that, make sure that you're, you know, being safe with your items. We're going to sell our glint. There we go, get rid of that glint. And the materials that we farmed, which honestly wasn't that much for that session, we are going to store, because again, we want to store all of that. But we want to make sure we have 20 anvil essence. Very, very important that we have that amount. So now, all we're going to do is, well, let's pick up the fish oil and check commissions if we have any to replace. Looks like I need the one for, whatchamacallit, the mountain lions again, and we're off to chop trees. Here we are. The 8 Frost Flash oil is now claimable, so there we go. We got it. Takes up 1 little slot, so not a big deal. But now, we're going to go chop trees, and then we have to turn the trees into usable timber. And we need quite a lot of trees. As a matter of fact, let's see, I have it written down here. I've already forgotten from the previous video. Let's see that. Yeah, 50. We need 56 trees. And again, I'm recommending these Eastern Hemlocks, though these are adolescents. I like to get the adult ones. Don't want to chop down no child trees, right? But yeah, they're pretty easy, and each tree you chop down is going to give you 5. So it doesn't take that long. I'm going to update the screen for you because it says fish oil. And no, since we're not really chopping that many trees, we don't need to swap out our bags for lumber or anything. There's really no reason for it. Our regular bag, they're a 1x3 vertical. So again, they'll fit in our bags just fine, and they stack up to 20, and we only need 3 stacks, really. So you can chop a few extra if you want. Last video, I made a mistake, and I had to come back out here and chop 3 extra damn trees because I made the wrong item. But if you want to chop more, that's fine, but you don't need more than 56. So while I was out chopping trees, I was also killing the mountain lions, so I can, again, get the commissions done, open more of these chests, and I think I'm at 60 wood, 20, 40. I also got a heroic wood, which we're going to use, 20, 40, 45, 50, 55. So I need one more tree, and that'll be 60. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Also, we're going to need to get 3 granite, which we just go mine it. But I normally would have you do this, or you would get it passively as you farmed the mine mobs. But this is what granite is. Again, it's the bumpy, lumpy rocks. It says mine granite. So you just need 3 granite. You don't need any more than that. I know we took all the granite and turned it into sand, and you could have saved 3 of that, but you need a lot of sand for a lot of metal. And that's very luck-based. But let's see if we get 3 here. We got 5. Okay. So there we go. We also got 5 tendonite, which is also nice. But yeah, with that, we're going to go back to town now, and we're going to turn our wood into timber. All right, time to process timber. So I'm outside of Hammer Rest here, and just look for the saw blade icon and the saw tool icon. And we're going to talk to the woodshop vendor here, and he sells a material called sanding powder. All right, and we are going to buy. You only need 56, but I'm going to buy 60 just because. Why not? Because I have 60 wood. That's 4 silver plus after tax 720. Yeah, it's expensive. But hey, with that sanding powder, we can now go over here to the lumber milling station, which is the saw blade. And we can then go to our eastern hemlock timber, drag that all the way over for 60 with the 60 sanding powder. We then add the wood. There we go. This is going to cost 21 silver, and it's going to take 30 minutes to do. So there we go. Now that that's cooking, let's see, what do we need to do now? Let's take this glint and sell it real fast also. Again, we want to always be selling our glint. Get rid of that glint. All right, cool. We have the granite. We're going to need timber for what we use the granite for, so just hold on to it for now. And in the meantime, we can go back to grinding, but we had one of our stations here, actually, in town, in Hammer Rest, doing sand, and I think it was a 40-minute timer, so I'm going to see if it's been 40 minutes. All right, I believe it's been 40 minutes, but let's check. It is ready to claim. So this is 47 crushed granite. We want to make sure that we have as much space as possible here. So I'm going to hit claim and send to inventory. There we go. So we managed to get 4 zinc, 8 copper, 4 tendonite, and that was it. Not a whole lot. Not a lot, honestly. But what we're going to do now is go to our storage and see how much metal we have, and we're going to take whichever stack has the most metal and turn that into shards. So out of all of our metal, we have 21 tendonite, we have 20 copper, which would technically be enough. This is technically enough metal to craft what we need, but you can only craft 1 metal at a time or refine 1 metal at a time. So because I have more tendonite, I'm going to take the tendonite out. And I'm going to go back to that forge real quick. So to make metal fragments, we're going to need, from the smithy vendor, smoldering ash. So, smoldering ash, and I have 21 metal on me here, so let's buy 21 metal. And, you know, our silver's getting low again, but hey, that's fine. You know, it's going to be all worth it in the end. So now, we're going to go to tendonite fragments, drag it all over, add the tendonite. There we go. This will take 10 minutes and 30 seconds, costing 7.3 silver. So yeah, at this point, I don't know if it's been an hour and 40 minutes or not, but we can absolutely go to the other town and see if it's done. Now, it's not like other games where you can cancel it and get your stuff back. If you cancel something being processed, it destroys the items. You do not get a portion of it or a fraction of it. It's all or nothing, so never, never, never click on that unless it's complete. By the way, if you've been grinding, you can go to any vendor, and your novice crap here, like I have extra rings, earrings. If you don't have any friends to give this to, just sell it. I know that's like 5 copper, 10, 48. You know, this stuff does add up. And by the way, to repair your gear, any vendor, you click the little repair button down here, and then you have to open your character pane, and then you would click on anything that needs repair. Since I haven't died, my gear doesn't need repair, but I did do some tree chopping, so there we go, and some mining. So again, this is like 42 copper, and I did a little fishing and a little herbing. I didn't do any hunting, so that doesn't need repair, but everything's 100%, so very, very good. But let's see if this is complete, and it is. So let's see what we get. Make sure you have room. Go ahead and hit claim, send to inventory. There we go. So right now we have... I should have brought the copper with me. That's my bad. But what we're going to need to do is go back to town, and no, your storage is not shared. It is individual to each encampment. So I need to go get the copper, store everything else, but bring the copper back, and go to this station, and then turn it into metal shards. And we just need 30 metal shards, so I don't even need to turn all of the copper into shards, but it's nice to have. Also note, from all this processing, you can claim this process 50 materials, that's 5 glints. You can claim this for another 2 glint. So yeah, that's gonna help with your money issues. Well, I got 3 minutes left on this, so I'm just gonna be lazy and wait that timer out. Alright, that should have been 3 minutes. Let's claim the tendonite. There we go. And I'm going to take copper, and I'm just doing the 9 copper because I don't want to wait. I want to get this done. Oh, yeah, I didn't add the copper. There we go, yeah. No. I am pushing the wrong button. There we go, got it. 3 silver, 4 minutes, 30 seconds on that. So, once that cooks, we also need the timber. Once the timber finishes, we're going to make some weapon molds, and then we can get our gear, and then that's going to make grinding super easy. We can just completely ignore all the dangers in the mines and just dive in and kill everything at this point. So now let's see how long our wood has to wait, because you should be grinding, but I'm a little burnt out. I'm a little tired. I'm a little, you know, I've been up all night. Another 12 minutes, not too bad. You know, you can go make you something to eat, do some chores, whatever it is you need to do. Or you can keep grinding, which is what you should do. I guess I'll go grind on mountain lions or something. Oh yeah, I did 5 commissions, so we can now open this leggings box and get the plate 1. So Phys Defense 123, which is a big upgrade from 47. So yeah, even more defense, baby. Alright, here we are at the mountain lion sanctuary. Endangered species, right? Not really. I don't think they are. I think they're pretty common. Aren't there like millions in America or something? But yeah, let's dodge these guys. They're trying to get me. They're trying to get my butt. But yeah, we just mass pull them. There we go. And then we're going to charge all the way over here and pull this bunch. So we're doing like a double pull. And that's the great thing about tank, is you're very mobile. Tank and fighter, man. They're like my 2 favorite classes so far in this game. But we can just grab everybody. Let's pop a defensive now. Swap to our sword. And get to, let's dodge that last pounce. There we go. We're gaming. We are gamers. And look at them. Oh, I got knocked down. But that's fine. Like, there's 1 survivor, and it's dead. Alright, so I was at 65.8, and now I'm at 69.9. So that was a 4.1% pull. And then, of course, the loot, and that wasn't a lot of loot. Sometimes you get a lot of loot, sometimes you don't. I blame the server. I don't know why that is. But these guys all respawn in 20 seconds. So you just wait 20, you just go back. And then after 20 seconds, you pull them again, and again, and again, and again. So that means I can essentially farm, what is that, like almost 8 to 9% of a level every minute if I'm having no downtime. It's really easy to level until you hit 9, and then it gets real slow. Now, I want to tell you guys I did a little oopsie, and that is I brought my crafting materials out here with me. So if my internet dies and I die, I've got to go make more metal fragments, and that's going to put me behind, and that sucks. It is a bad, bad feeling. Remember Murphy's Law. If something bad can happen, it will happen. So that is that's life lesson for you, okay? Now, obviously it hasn't happened to me. Maybe I have that YouTuber luck, but I'm just warning you. If I don't warn you, I'm not doing my due diligence to you guys. Because if I'm watching a how-to video on like how to install an electrical component to your house, and I don't own a house, I don't know how to do electrical stuff. Okay, I'm just spitballing here. and someone doesn't tell me, if you don't push the red button, you'll get electrocuted and die, you know, then when I get electrocuted and die, I'm going to be mad at the guy that made the video in the after. I'll be like, hey man, I watched your video and it killed me. And he's like, oh, well, that sucks. Anyone ever have thoughts like that? Oh yeah, that sucks, man. Sorry, bro. Sorry that happened to you, bro. Like, man, I had this whole YouTube thing going too. It was really nice. Alright, so I have grinded to level 8, and level 8, you're going to make a choice. It depends on your playstyle and what you want to do. If you're grinding easy to kill mobs, or grinding just a handful of mobs, like 3 or 4 enemies at a time, you want to pick Inciting Strikes, and this is a courage builder. It's not the best courage builder, but it's free damage. It's alright. It's also a threat generator if you want to do party stuff. This isn't really a party build. This is a solo guide. However, if you want, you can also choose Fortify. Now, this takes all of your courage, but if you are pulling like 15, 20 mobs at a time, like an entire room of mobs all clustered together, and you pop this, that's 20% damage reduction on top of your Grit's 20% damage reduction, on top of your Heavy 10% damage reduction, so you're taking half as much damage as you normally would, but also, it gives you a 300% courage while damage taken multiplier. And when you take damage, you gain courage, which allows you to sit here and spam slams. And it's very, very good, but this is something you would use much later when you have way better gear at a much higher level. And right now, reducing, you know, a weak mob's damage by 50% isn't a big deal. So for against weak, easy mobs, Inciting Strikes. Against really tough, hard mobs, Fortify. Just note that if you're like in a 1v1 or you're fighting bosses, Inciting Strikes is much better because getting 300% courage generation against a boss mob isn't going to do much versus the amount of courage you're getting from Inciting Strikes. And it's a low cooldown ability. It's another button to mash to just deal damage. So from this Mountain Lion grind, we have a bunch of glint. That's going to basically set us up for more silver. That you know, we're pretty much set on silver. And if you have friends, you could start crafting them swords and bows so they can skip kind of a grind if you want. But we're going to go and get all the stuff that we've been processing and get our damn weapons. It's about damn time. So we're going to need room to pick up the timber because it's going to still take up 3 slots. So we're going to sell the glint that we got here. There we go. And yeah, we have enough in our bag. Yeah, the timber absolutely should be done. We're going to yoink that timber. Boom, 60, send it to inventory. And, ooh, someone crafted a purple novice fishing pole. When the game comes out, that's going to be such a waste of an item. Here's a tier 1 fishing pole that's epic, bro. That's too funny. So from storage, we're going to pull out, I thought I had regular granite in here, but I guess not. Anyway, we're going to pull out the granite. We're going to pull out the the Frost Flash fish oil, the coarse thread, because we're going to use all this to craft, and the anvil's essence, 20 of them. We don't need the 21. But, yeah, so this is a nice start, and then let's go pick up the metal shards, and then we're almost all set, except there's one thing left that we have to make. So, go to the stone mason bench, the icon that looks like bricks, and we want to make a weapon mold out of granite. It doesn't matter what stone you use, but granite is the easiest, and it does require timber and granite. Alright, we just need 3 of these, and we're going to need binding resin, so turn around. Here's the Stoneworks vendor. We're going to buy the resin. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and buy those. 36 copper. Very cheap. Again, make sure you do weapon and not armor, because last video I made armor, and I had to go back out and chop trees. Alright, granite weapon mold. We're crafting all 3. Add the timber, and add the granite. There we go. And then that's 1 silver. It's going to take 1 minute 30 seconds. We can go pick up our other items, come back, and yeah, it'll be done. It'll be ready. So here we go. We have the 9 copper fragments. We're going to send that to inventory. Now, at the smithy vendor, we're going to go to materials and type SW for sword, and we want to buy a sword's final touches, just 1. There we go. Go ahead and purchase that. All right. And we're going to need that to craft the sword. Let's, I got to go back and get the weapon mold. Alright, picking up the weapon molds. There we go. Now, we're going to head back to the blacksmithing area, and you're going to look for this little hammer and sword icon that's crossing. This is the weaponsmithing station. We're going to go to sword, and we're going to craft a wayward sword. This is 30 metal fragments, 7 timber, 3 weapon molds, and 10 essence. And this weapon is very powerful. Alright. Go ahead and add the metal fragments, add the timber, add the weapon mold, and the essence. There we go. Awesome. And then it's only 75 copper to craft. What a steal. There we go. We did it. And man, that's a strong weapon. Check how strong this is. Alright, so we currently have 397 attack power and 34 strength, with 99 physical speed and 192 physical crit power. This thing gives us 59 strength, but it also gives us 42 constitution, which is more HP, more tankiness, and 173 weapon speed. So this thing is nearly twice as fast, and it technically almost is double the attack power, almost, kind of, sort of. So there we go. We now have a really badass sword for our level. And now we're going to go outside, and we're going to go craft the bow. So here we are outside. We're going to go to the carpentry station. This has the saw tool, not the buzz saw, but the hand saw. All right, and then we're going to go down here to longbow and wayward bow. And we need to buy a longbow's final touches. That's what I forgot. So go to the wood shop vendor, and then we'll just type bow into the search. There it is, longbow's final touches. Buy one of those, and now we can actually craft it. Awesome, awesome stuff. All right. And there it is, wayward longbow. We're going to, again, add the materials. I always click the wrong button. All right, and then the thread. That's why we have 13 coarse thread, I know. And then the fish oil. Why do you need oil for a bow? I don't know bows in real life. Anyway, 75 copper, and look at the power on this bow. This is a massively powerful bow. All right, it also gives you, look, here's the comparison. 447 physical to 779 physical. We also get a 36% or 36 increase in physical crit power, more strength, and maximum HP. Now, we lose crit defense, but who cares? We're a tank anyway, doesn't matter. The 251 max health is huge for our level. Look at that. That is a nice chunk of HP that we just gained. Our maximum health is 1665. When we hit level 9, it's going to be even higher than that. And unfortunately for this session, I normally have a helmet drop by now. I've got everything else to drop except a helmet. Also, that flower just grew right there, and that was really creepy. But yeah, I normally get a helmet drop, but hey, we're going to grind to 9 in the mines. We're fully equipped. Our attack power is now basically doubled. Of course, before we leave, we need to store all these materials so we don't lose them to an internet outage or anything, or like a ganker or something weird. So real quick, here's what our storage looks like. If the commissions in the trading town worked, that's the town directly south of Hammer, whatever this town is called. You could turn in some rubies, you could turn in zinc, copper, or tendonite. You could just turn these in and just earn XP and, chest items. But it doesn't currently work, so it is what it is. And if when we were out chopping trees, that could have been a quest we completed. So technically, because of that commission board not working, we are slightly behind on time, but we're doing all right. We also have 31 silver, and I'm going to give you some tips on what you can buy with that silver. So across from the storage is Vendor Liza. If you want to focus on gathering, you can buy the satchel you need. She also sells rations, which is just a food item you can eat in between pulls. As a tank, you will need rations, because sitting down takes forever to restore your HP, and you don't really have a natural way of healing yourself. This is why the tank needs a healer. But other than that, there's a few other buffs that I want to show you. So over here near the magical staff little icon, the arcane engineering crafting bench, is the laboratory vendor, and this person sells healing salves, which are healing potions, and you're going to want a lot of these, so I'm just going to buy like 5. And again, we have plenty of money now. 5 of these is like 3 silver. That's like a few pulls. He also sells buff scrolls, and you can have 1 buff scroll active at a time. We have Constitution, we have Strength, Intelligence, and Mentality. So I like to go damage. So I'm gonna buy, like a bunch of Strength scrolls, and these last 2 hours each. So if I buy 5 of these, that's a whole day's worth of grinding right there. Boom, for 3 silver, not bad. Okay. Now obviously players can craft way better scrolls, but I'm on a very developing server, and no one's probably leveling up their scribe, but hey, if you got a friend and he's a scribe, he can hook your ass up. Now we're going to go outside to the cooking bench, and this is the final buff that we're going to grab, and we're going to walk over here, or ride our ram over to the cookhouse vendor. He also sells rations. I'm going to go ahead and buy some. Just buy, you know, like 10 or whatever. There we go. Spend some silver. And then he also sells fresh salad, which is 155 physical power for 1 hour. So we're going to buy a bunch of those. Buy like 7, why not, whatever. He also sells fruit salad for the spellcasters, blackberry compote for physical defense, which would be not, if you got a bunch of friends and if you're main tank and you're tanking like a dungeon, go ahead and buy some of those blackberry compotes. But at this point now, all that we have to do now is do commissions and grind in the mines, grind the lions. I wouldn't grind the clay guys inside the starter zone anymore. You're a little too high level for them, and their XP and drop rates just aren't worth the time anymore. Mountain lions are way better. But we're going to go to the mines, and we are almost fully equipped. We still need a helmet, but one will maybe drop, maybe not, but it is what it is. But we've got our super weapons here. So yeah, our damage that we're going to deal is basically double. Our HP is very, very high. We're very tanky. 18% base. When I pop Grit, that's another 20. And if I swap on Inciting Strikes, which, again, you can just do that anytime. I can just take Inciting Strikes, take that off, put on Fortify, and there we go. I like to put it right there. And, yeah, now I can, pump that plus 40%, so that puts me at around, it puts me above 50. Above 50% damage mitigation for 10 seconds and 20 seconds, whatever. You get the idea. We're very tanky. So here we are at the mines. I'll show you once again on the map where that is. Here's Hammer Rest. Go south to Hammer Rest Trade Outpost. Take the road to the right, jump into the river, and then go east, and boom, we're right here in the mines. And, yeah, so we can now just run through and just nuke everything. Like, oh no, here's a construct tank, 1.9k HP. I can just tag that, tag a rockling here, there we go. And, well, there's going to be a bunch of, it's daytime, and there's going to be a bunch of players also farming here. So, again, you're a tank, you're the most sought-after class in the game. At this point, if you don't want to be an antisocial whatever, and you can party with people, and yes, you can tank with a great sword right now. We're not level 15, we don't need sword and board yet. But again, we can just pull all these dudes. I missed that one though. Let's go ahead and hit him. There we go. And I could charge through here. We have charge. That's why we got charge, so we can move around more efficiently. All right, and then we're just gonna stack them all up like we do, and then just pound them. I messed up. Oh, I absolutely messed that up. I did not do that in the right order at all. Also, I didn't do Aegis correctly. I don't even need Aegis. I would rather use Inciting Strikes, but again, these guys are super easy. They just absolutely crumble. There it is. Alright, so, now, at this point, your weapons will level up as well to level 9. And now that we've taken Ward, what I like to do is just crit chance. You can also do weapon proc durations for more bleed, but this is less than 1 second. And if you get all 3 of these, it's maybe like 1.5 seconds. Who cares? I'd rather just deal more damage, like more raw damage. So that's what I'm going. Just more damage is always good. But yeah, just run through the mines. You'll be absolutely fine. You overgear the absolute hell out of all of this content. Just run through, hit all the mobs, group them all up into a ball, and actually do the combo right. I messed up the combo and they still melted, okay? Like, oh man. And you'll see groups in here. They'll be doing the same thing as a group, but you don't need a group. You can do this solo. I got you, bros. Look at this. Look at this. They're just dead. Look how hard we hit. I'm hitting the wrong button. But yeah, look how hard they hit. And again, I didn't pop Aegis. Whatever. My bad. Who cares? Right? My combo's about up again anyway. Oh, yeah. And again, I didn't even pop our food. I didn't pop our scroll or anything. So you can get even stronger than this, okay? And again, remember, these are elite mobs. These are higher leveled elite mobs. They drop lots of loot. Look at that. We just got the Forge-bound ring recipe. That's a pretty good ring. A lot of crit power and dex there. So if you want to start crafting and selling things, you absolutely already learned it. So that's a duplicate. People are going to be wanting these recipes. But yeah. You just mount up and just rinse and repeat. I'd like to show you killing some of the 2-star elites. They're very easy to kill with this character. And, well, most characters. Not all characters, but with most. I'm going to do a bit of grinding and I'll catch back up with you guys. Now, I want to mention, from levels 8 to 9, is half as much XP, less than half as much, as 9 to 10. 9 to 10 is going to take you like an hour or two of grinding, okay? Whereas 8 to 9, maybe 30 to 40 minutes, something like that, okay? It really doesn't take a whole lot of time. Oh, did these aggro me? I guess they did. But look how, look, just 3 enemies. If you don't want to kill that many at a time and you want to be safe, like, they just die, and I don't even get to do my full combo on these dudes, alright? They just die so easily. Alright, so it's been about 30 minutes now. This is the mines during prime time. It's super busy in here. There's a lot of parties. So I'm not able to pull a ton of mobs at a time. I'm only able to pull maybe 1 to 2 to 3 at a time and kill them. I only managed to get one of the 2-star bosses because, again, these things are being camped right now. But here's my inventory. We can go ahead and consolidate this so we can see how much exactly we have. And, yeah, in 30 minutes we've earned about, I don't know. Let's see. Go ahead and change those. So 27 silver. Also, here's the tension canister. We got this from Calcitooth, a 2-star elite mob. I don't know what the 2 stars are called. I'm not sure if they're called elites or something more. But yeah, very busy in here. When it's not busy, you can just grab everything and nuke it all down at once. But like right now, if I run around the whole cave, I'm lucky to pull, like, here's a 5 pull. Right, not too bad. And these guys are gonna, you know, knock me down. So I gotta drag the melee over to the spellcaster here. And then after that, I can just, you know, do my usual combo, let them stun me again here, and now they're toast. So there we go. Do the usual combo. Give them some stabs. Hit the stun here, and then just, again, that's all we have to do. Now this guy's an elite, so he's a little bit harder to kill. But we just, again, just smash your buttons. They're all gonna die. I barely took any HP loss. The only downtime you really have is your mana. And that's what your rations are for. Just eat rations or get rid of your red clay chunks because these things suck. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Right, and there we go. We managed to hit level 9 in under 1 hour of grinding here. And we got a bunch of glint too. Let me consolidate some of this. So yeah, that's 48 silver. We got another 20 essence, some other random drops. A couple of these. Again, this is when the mines are really, really busy. It's died down a tiny bit. I guess everyone kind of moved on, or they got what they needed or something. But, yeah, it's, from 9 to 10 is more than double. So if it took me 1 hour to get from 8 to 9, it's going to take me at least 2 hours of doing this in these damn wretched caves to get to 10. And you don't have to grind here. You could go roam the open world. You're powerful enough to fight most things around level 8 to 10 if you want. It's just easier and faster and more efficient here. And again, you can level up however you want. You can go gather. You can go do all sorts of different things. But, you know, again, you can mass pull most of this cave. I like to stop at the spellcaster here, get my defenses up, and try to get them all kind of grouped up. They're not going to group up, though. They're too spread. But that doesn't matter. This guy just runs by and is like, oh, there's someone killing, like, the whole cave. And there we go, everything's dead. Right, and I'm barely hurt at all. I have plenty of mana left. And again, that one pull at level 9 was 1.5%, so I just have to do that, I don't know, like 60, 75 more times or something. Not too hard, pretty easy stuff. Now, for level 9, you don't really have much of a choice. You can go Fortify for fighting a really hard target. You can go Intimidating Aura for just more damage. You know, just another button to hit, you know, and while everything else is on cooldown kind of thing. It's really up to you, whatever you prefer. And again, because it's alpha, you can just unspec out of it, spec into the other thing, and play around with whatever you like. It's really, really simple stuff. Now, at level 9, what I recommend, if you want to level gathering, if you want to level any kind of crafting, any kind of anything, stop leveling at 9 and go level your gathering. Because when you hit level 10, this little PvP opt-in protection goes away, and people can murder you and take your stuff and blah, 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 right? It becomes a PvP game. That's what it is. So if you want to grind up any of that stuff without too much of a hassle from other players, and again, what's going to happen as a solo player is you'll be out chopping trees. Some guild will see you chopping trees, and 10 of their guys will swarm you, kill you, take your logs, 25% of what you chopped, and then put it towards their settlement. That's just how it is. So it becomes pretty rough and pretty brutal as a solo player. This is why I don't like to gather unless I'm on a rogue. Rogue is my favorite gathering class because you can stealth around, and when no one's around, you can then chop the tree if you want. But, yeah. So, We are now level 9. If you want to progress as a tank, there is a quest you can do. What you have to do, though, this part kind of sucks. And I'm exploring more up here, but there's not a lot added to the game yet. I'm sure there's some hidden quests in here, but no one knows where they're at. I will eventually discover and make videos about these quests. But the more knowledgeable area is down here in this starter zone, so you would ride down to this starter zone, do some of those starter quests. That will lead you on to a quest. It will take you, it's gonna take you like all over kind of in these watery areas, and you'll do some stuff that you have to do at night. And then at some points you will end up in a very popular zone. I forget the name right now, and it's not showing up on my map, but essentially, it's a zone where everyone goes from level 10 to 15 in this area to mass grind. It is a super popular zone. And I think it's one of these events is happening right now near it. But I forget where exactly we're at. It's been so long since I've done it, okay? I'm sorry. But that quest line will get you a mace, a one-handed mace, or a one-handed shield. And it's you have to be level 10 to equip it, so you can't... There's no reason to do it at level 9. Wait till you're level 10, then go do it. It's a decent shield with like 300 defense on it. It's not the best, but... By then, you should have joined a town, and you could just have someone craft you a shield, or you can craft your own shield, or buy a shield from somebody in trade chat. If you're playing on a more established server, there's a whole lot of different routes and paths you can take, but this is just a best start guide. This is not a full game guide. This got you started, this got you beefy, this got you able to solo comfortably with best in slot crafted weapons, while giving you a clear and direct path of what to do, where to go, and how to do it. Anyway, I hope that this video helped you out. This is the end of the video, by the way. So let me know what you think. I read every single comment. I have no life, no friends, no family, no life obligations. All I do is sit here on YouTube and refresh my comments all day. I'll do that, or absolutely right now. Let's see if there's any new comments. All right. Someone commented, wonderful. So shout out to Pesky Guard Gnome 1021, who posted on a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 crafting XP trick video. See, there you go. I read every comment, guys. Even the ones that get held because of vulgarities and stuff. But anyway, that's all I've got. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? And if you are interested in playing this game, I have a referral link in the description. Click that link. The game is on sale for like $42 US until December 25th. After that, I think it's like $49.99. I forget how much it is. It's definitely worth checking out. Yes, it is an alpha. Yes, there will be wipes. And, you know, it's worth it to learn the game and practice it now so that when it does come out and become more permanent, you will be able to get ahead of everyone else. And instead of playing a game like Albion Online, where you're just behind forever and everyone murders you all the time, you could be the guy that murders everyone all the time. But that's all I've got. I'm not trying to sell you the game or anything. I don't get a commission or anything. I just get skin bucks, which lets me get free skins, which aren't even in the game yet anyway. So who knows if I'll ever even get them. But with that said, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. If this video does well, I will make more guides. I think I will make a guide for Mage, a guide for Cleric, absolutely Cleric. Cleric and Mage are next, I would say. Fighter is... If you thought being a tank was really fast, or being a rogue was fast, wait till you see Fighter. Fighter is the easiest class in the game to play. It is also the fastest class, and yeah... Like, there's going to be a flood of fighters. I just feel like if the game launched in the state it is it now? Fighters, there's going to be so many fighters because it's the most fun class, it's easy to play, it's powerful. You literally can do everything as a fighter, almost. It's really, really nice. You can AoE as soon as, like, level 4 or 5, and you just never slow down from there. You just get more and more crazy, even faster than the tank. Alright, but that's all I got. Thank you so much. Mwah. Kiss on your forehead. And finally, click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't, you're going to have very painful heartburn for 2 days straight.